Hello, both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in, so let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation, so we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name-calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome, everybody, to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. We're going to have another segment of our Hidden Gems. Y'all know, or maybe you don't know. Maybe it's your first time tuning in. Every Tuesday, we are here at 7 p.m. We are here to highlight our Black and brown businesses, our community leaders, our organizations, and our people that's doing some positive things to impact our community. So we are excited to be here. We got two amazing gems that are here tonight. And guess what? I know everybody's going, where's Pretty Tony at? Where's your co-host? She's not here, y'all. After the lady, nice conversation, all the ladies of my organization, they just quit. They said, John, this is it. We can't support you anymore. You too much. All right. They all walked away. No, I'm just messing with y'all community. Tony will be joining us shortly. She is running late. As you all know, we are getting ready for the Thanksgiving holidays. The freeways are packed. People are doing their traveling. While you're doing your traveling out there, be safe. I know people are moving around, but Tony will be with us shortly to help support once she gets settled in. Tony, we know you watching. We know you kind of get in. Take your time. We'll see you when you get here and support y'all. And speaking of the lady show, what a great conversation. I just want to say something to the community, okay? Because I got a lot of pushback. I got a lot of emails and text messages from the ladies out there. Just calm down, queens, okay? Calm down. It's all love out here. But I just want to address a few things because I know we got some new followers, some new people that's watching. We got some corporate America folks, some of these different folks watching now, and everybody's having these issues. So I just want to explain to everybody a little bit about both sides of the conversation before we get started tonight, okay? Both sides of the conversation is for the community. It's for the people, okay? When we talk about changing the narrative from our voices, we are talking about also hearing from the people in our community. Some of these conversations, we've said it before on our Sunday conversation, some of these conversations could be very triggering, okay? They could be very, very hurtful at times for some people. In our community, there's conversations that are taboo and stigma conversations that we don't have, okay? All we're trying to do here at both sides of the conversation is make sure that those conversations are had, okay? We're not trying to be so centralized media. We're not trying to be CNN and Fox News and all the other broadcasts and podcasts that are out there, okay? We are our own entity. We love the people. We do the things for the people, all right? So sometimes the conversation gets a little colorful. It gets a little passionate. It gets a little ratchet sometimes. It's just what it is, okay, community? So I just want to let y'all know that, okay? It's okay, though. It's all love, okay? But in saying all of that, okay, just take it easy, okay? We're just trying to have these conversations. We'll get to the part of healing and fixing the problems and all of the solutions. But in our community, the first thing we need to do is have the conversation, okay? And these conversations, when we talk about relationships, can become very tense for people, very traumatic. We know that there's a lot of hurt and harm that takes place in our community, a lot of failed relationships. Things happen, right? But we want to make sure that these conversations, yes, they are serious, they are fun, but we want to keep it fun. We want to keep it where it's light so people could get involved. I did receive like 8 messages from people that I know who not camera friendly, okay? They said, John Henry, I love the conversation. It was so great. It was so fun that I want to be on the next one, okay? So we know some things is working. Not for everybody. Some people liked it, and that's all we want to do. People who are not really comfortable to be in the public speaking are coming forward and said, I want to be a part of this. This was fun, okay? So that's all we're trying to do. So when we have these heavy conversations, we try to make it a little fun, a little laughter, and not try to make it so serious and tense. But that's all we're trying to do, okay, community? Because some people are new and they like, you guys are going after each other. This is not right. This is not what it's all about. You guys are supposed to be doing all of this positive stuff. You're not following what you say. Stop it, okay, community? Stop it, all right? We love y'all. All we're trying to do is get our people comfortable to open up space, have these dialogue conversations, and start some kind of healing in our process. But I think it was overall good, but just wanted to address the community because I am a person that listens to the people, and we appreciate you for watching and supporting us. There was a lot of people watching, and we appreciate the feedback. I can take the criticism. It's okay. We can make some changes, but we want to keep this platform authentic to our people, okay? We want to make sure that Black folks get their voices heard, their voices amplified, and make sure that things that they want can happen, okay? So all our allies, all the people that want to be a part and know what's going on, just take a pump, okay? Chill a little bit, all right? Just be a part and listen and understand what's going on. You know, it's like when Black folks invite you to the barbecue, you know, sometimes you hear some stuff, you just like, what? Just take it easy, okay? We invited you to the party. Just take a chill, all right? But with that being said, while we introducing some of our new folks and some of the people who don't know about us, we're going to also talk about some of our other social media handles because I've been getting a lot of feedback and people not understanding things, okay? So I want to just break this down real quick. Our Facebook group, okay? Our Facebook group is made to have conversations, to post memes, talk about different stuff, religion, politics, all kind of stuff going on in the Facebook group. Okay, there's a lot of posts in there. We try to keep a lot of activity in the group so people can engage and have dialogue so that we keep these conversations going on throughout the week, not just on our live show, but that's what's going on in our Facebook group. Okay, we post all of the events. We let other people, organizations post their events in our group so that our community stay connected with the resources and the things that's going on. Okay, so go to our Facebook group, both sides of the conversation. If you want to be a part of that, okay, it's a lot of ratchet conversations going on. It's a lot of women and men issues happening. I don't know, okay? I'm trying to keep it as peaceful as possible, okay, people? But again, it is to have both sides of the conversation, all right? For all of our corporate people, all of the people that's like, I don't want to be a part of this, okay? You could go to our Facebook page, okay? Our Facebook page is strictly business. You're going to see all of the events, all of the places that we're going to be, all of the information and literature that you need. Go to our Facebook page and support us there. All right. If you want to see some other business stuff, go to our Instagram, both sides of the conversation, see what's going on, see some of our previous shows. That's where you want to go for that information. Our Twitter as well. We're doing some stuff. We're trying to amp up our TikTok and get our TikTok presence there. It's starting to happen. And again, our YouTube channel. If you want to follow us, see some of the community events that we are at, some of the impact that we're doing to help our people in the community, want to hear about resources, or whenever we are live at any community event, please go to our YouTube channel, both sides of the conversation, and you can follow us there, okay? That's where we at, all right? So I just wanted to give that quick rundown because we got all these new followers, all these different people. They're still trying to figure out both sides of the conversation, what's going on. That's all. I just want to give it to y'all so y'all understand, okay? And then every Tuesday you are here. We have our Hidden Gem segment. Every Thursday, we have our Educational Thursday. This Thursday, because of Thanksgiving, we will not have an Educational Thursday presentation, but every Thursday at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., around that time, we're going to be switching up the time, but 6 o'clock right now, but probably 7. We're bringing people on to educate our community with a PowerPoint presentation. So again, that's what's going on Thursdays. And then every Sunday, okay, we have a Sunday conversation at 4 p.m. We have our youth. We have other folks from the community coming on and holding conversation, different topics, different things happening every week. This Sunday, we're supposed to have our youth, but we had to cancel this Sunday show because we do have a community event. We are partnering with our Asian Strong folks. We're going to have a cookout, the ABC cookout, the Asian and Black cookout. We're going to be at the Crossing. 200 Folsom Street. Come out 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be free food, events, stuff going on. Come check us out. We're going to be out impacting community. So that's what we're going to be doing. Okay. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the world news announcements, some of the things that's going on in the community, and then we'll jump into the events and get ready for our 2 Hidden Gem tonight. So good news for some folks. The Biden administration is extending the pause on student loan payments. The Biden administration announced Wednesday, I guess, that they'll be extending the pause on student loan payments until June 30th, 2023. That's great news for all of our folks who are, got loan debt or haven't paid it back or whatever. They holding it off to the end of June. So hopefully that helps impact some of our folks out there trying to deal with their student loans. Also, Kanye West is saying he's running for president again in 2024. On Sunday, he announced his bid for presidency in 2024. Hey, y'all, Ye is out there trying to make something happen. I don't know. Kanye said he's running. If you want to vote for Kanye in 2024. Also, Donald Trump said he's running in 2024. So there you go. You got 2 candidates. You got either one you can choose. I don't know. There you go. All right. Twitter employees are rejected Elon Musk's ultimatum. CNN reported the remaining employees on social media site has said the workforce is extremely hardcore. He cut 7,500 employees, and a lot of folks are not returning to work. So I don't know what's going to happen to Twitter, y'all. Twitter's going to blow up, explode. I don't know. But those folks aren't coming back to work. So Elon Musk has a problem on his hand. As they say, somebody call mama, because he's in trouble right now with the people. All right. Also, Rashad Brooks' family reaches a $1 million settlement with the city of Atlanta. If y'all know about the story that took place back in 2020, the young brother was killed at the Atlanta's Wendy's, where he was shot and killed by Atlanta officers when they thought he was drunk or something, sleep behind the seat. So again, nice to hear. They did reach a settlement. We know $1 million is not enough for a person's life, but at least some justice was rendered. And I'm sure there's other things that they'll be going after in that case. With that being said, we're going to jump into our community announcements, our events that are going on in community. We're going to start off first with the Charm community, presenting the 2022 turkey giveaway for San Francisco Housing Authority residents only. To receive a free turkey, call 415-821-4639 4777. Y'all still got till tomorrow to get a free turkey. Shout out to my guy, Nate Ford, at SF Rebels today. They was out giving turkeys in the community. I know there was a number going on. Folks across the city getting out turkeys to the community. So shout out to all the community organizations that's been making sure for this Thanksgiving, at least folks will have turkeys and other food for this Thanksgiving dinners that people are putting together. So shout out to all the community organizations who work together to put these together for community. Also, the Black Wellness at Rafiki is this week. The Healing and Drum Circle is taking place Wednesday, November the 23rd, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., 601 Caesar Ave. For more information, reach out to RafikiCoalition.org. Also, the Mackey Corner First Annual Suicide Awareness and Prevention Community Event is happening Saturday, November the 26th, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Hamilton Park at 1600 Gary Street. I know on the screen it says 1900 Gary Street, but it's actually 1600 Gary Street. So please get out and support this event. Suicide is real, community, okay? And we are approaching the holiday season, and we know a lot of folks who have lost loved ones for COVID, lost loved ones for gun violence and different things. It's very traumatic in these times. And sometimes folks get overwhelmed, anxiety, depression, things get up. And sometimes folks feel like they want to end their life. So this is a great awareness event. Make sure this holiday season, families, friends, y'all get out there and check on your people, okay? Pick up a phone call. People are going through stuff. A lot of people have lost loved ones over this year. Reach out to your people. Give them a call. Spread some love this holiday season. For all of the issues that we have in our families, let's find a way to come together, talk about it, and resolve it this holiday season, if none other. Also, our Asian and Black community cookout, I said earlier, this Sunday, all right, for all of y'all folks that want to come out. We want to talk about this Asian hate. We want to talk about some of the cultural issues that impact both communities. I know some folks have been pushing back saying, why do we have to do this? Listen, y'all, we all got to come together. There's differences, some misunderstandings, there's miscommunications, there's miscultures, there's a lot of things. But together, we can make change and make a difference. And we're going to do our part by showing that solidarity. Let's have a conversation. Let's eat together. Let's break bread and talk about the things that we could do to impact community together. So the Asian Black Community Cookout is happening this Sunday, November the 27th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., 200 Folsom Street, okay? I'll be out there, community, for all y'all ladies that want to see me in person saying, John Henry, when I see you in person, John Henry, it's going to be a problem. I'll be out there at the 200 Folsom Street, okay? At the crossing, y'all see me there this Sunday with the rest of our team. Also, the New Black World Party, okay, is happening Tuesday, November 29th, 7 p.m. To 11 p.m. at 19 Grand Avenue in Oakland. Go check out that event. It should be some great things happening over there with the Black New World Party, all right? It's a Black New World Party, okay? Some things happening across this Bay Area. Also, the Feel Good Collective of Rising Authors, age 8 through 18, this Wednesday. Oh, on Wednesday, December the 17th, 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the San Francisco Assessor Office. Please get out there and check out that event. Also, the Both Sides of the Conversation holiday feed, Feeding the Hungry and Unhoused Folks, Saturday, December the 17th. From 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., we're going to be on 3rd Street in Palouse. We're going to bless our people, okay? We'll come through. We're going to put some food out there. We got some music playing. Y'all going to see our tent up. We'll do some things to impact the community. Don't miss it. Pull up. We'll be out there impacting the community. And then on Sunday, December the 18th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we're going to be at Martin Luther King and West Grand in Oakland. We'll be blessing some folks out there. We'll be feeding some folks, doing some things, giving out care packages. Listen. All we do is bless the people, y'all. That's what we do. And I got an amazing team that's always thinking about how we can impact the community. And we got a small budget. We ain't doing a whole lot. But listen, the little bit we got, we make sure we impact the people. That's what we do here. All right. The Do The Activity, 2nd annual Christmas party is happening Sunday, December 18th, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Thurgood Marshall High School Gymnasium, 45 Crunklin Street in San Francisco. They're going to be having a Christmas party. If you want to come out and check that out, get out there and check it out and see what's going on. Also, they still doing the high school test and prep open to all 7th and 8th graders to get ready for the high school placement test. For more information, reach out to my guy, Nate Ford. And they are still trying to make sure that our young people are getting the information so they can get ready for the high school test. Also, the monkeypox vaccination is still happening every Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 701 Alabama Street, San Francisco, California. Now, listen, community, don't pull up this Thursday. I'm not for sure, but I know they are probably not giving out vaccinations on Thanksgiving, okay? So don't get mad at me and say, John Henry, you said they weren't going to be there, okay? I don't think they're going to be there this Thursday, but every Thursday after this Thursday, they should be there giving out monkeypox vaccination, okay? The Peace Park present Friday Night Fun every Friday night, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Hamilton Rec Center, 1600 Gary Boulevard. Again, another Stop the Violence event, trying to get our young people in the city to get out and do something that is positive so that they are not out committing crimes and doing things in the community. They're doing haircuts, food, different things in their games and conversations with the young people. Please, families, get your folks over there. Take some of our young people on Friday night. Give them an opportunity to go do something and be around some other young, positive young folks. Also, the Saturday Family Fun Day is still happening. They're doing field trips, sporting events, and much more every second and fourth Saturday. Reach out to my guy, Nate Ford, and the SF Rebel. Again, they're doing some amazing stuff to make sure our families and young folks are impacted during this winter break season. Also, the San Francisco Smart Money Coaching is happening. If you're looking for a confidential coach, you want to learn about money, pay off some debt, you want to get some game, call the number on the screen. Make an appointment. Make your New Year's resolution early. Say, hey, I'm stepping into New Year's with a new mindset. I want to get rid of all this debt. I want to build some generational wealth. Call the folks on there. Get you a coach so that they can help walk you through that process. Also, the both sides of the conversation capacity building fundraiser is still going on. The GoFundMe information is up there. It's Giving Tuesday coming up. Community, don't forget about both sides of the conversation now. Yeah, I know we out there doing the work, okay? We need some support, okay? We trying to do a few things. Don't forget about us. Hit the GoFundMe. Hit our flip calls. Giving Tuesday. Support us, man. Support the youth. We got a youth team. Hey, we got to support our young people, okay? Don't just talk about it. Be about it, community, all right? With that being said, our both sides of the conversation volunteer opportunities are still there. We are still looking for people with talent, great background that know how to help move organizations forward and be a part of something great. We are trying to impact our community. If that is you and you have it in your heart, you're like, John Henry, I just love what y'all do. I love Pretty Tony. I'm going to come help y'all. How can I help y'all? Make sure y'all reach out and click to join our squad on our website and make sure you sign up as we're trying to continue to bring on positive, influential people who want to give back and make impact in our community. So if that is you and you have some time you want to give up to give back, don't just climb the educational ladder. Don't just climb the corporate ladder and forget about the people down here below, okay? Give back to the people, all right? So we'll see y'all. Maybe it's you. Maybe this is you, okay? The person that's out there like, John, I ain't giving to your GoFundMe, and I ain't coming to help you. But you can help us this way, okay? Just go to our Amazon Smile, okay? Listen, community, I'm going to say it slow. Amazon Smile. Click on Amazon Smile. Okay, and then click on your charitable organization link that they have up there. Okay, once you click that link, type in both sides of the conversation. Okay, no extra cost to you. Okay, but if you choose both sides of the conversation as your charitable organization, no extra cost to you. Every time you shop on Amazon, okay, and ladies, I know you shopping. I see the Amazon trucks on every corner. Okay, they drive up the street all times of the night, dropping off packages. I see y'all ladies with your bonnets on, creeping out the house, picking up your boxes, hiding from your husband, okay? I know you're spending money. Choose both sides of the conversation as one of your charitable organizations, okay? So that every time you shop, 0.5% of your purchase will come help support us out, and that's another way you can help us. And ladies, if you support us, I promise you, I won't tell your husband that you're outside sneaking, picking those packages up, hide them under the porch, hide them in your trunk, hide them in the garage, telling the kids, where dad at? Where dad at? Okay, I'm going to sneak in the garage now. Okay, I'm not going to tell. All right, make sure you support us. I think it's important to always give back and support, and that's not a hard deal. All you're doing is choosing a nice organization like both sides of the conversation. All right, support us. All right, with that being said, for all the new people following us, if you're just getting on, check us out on all of our social media handles at both sides of the conversation. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can't miss us. We're everywhere. Just type up both sides of the conversation. We'll pull up and you'll see us. Also, with that being said, we have no show this Thursday for our Educational Thursday. So please do not tune in because we won't be here. Don't be calling me talking about John Henry. I'm waiting for y'all to go live. Where y'all at? Okay. We won't be here on Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy your families. Enjoy the food and enjoy Tony Cowboys getting beat on Thanksgiving Day, okay? With that being said, this Sunday, we were supposed to have our youth show. We are canceling our youth show because we'll be out in community for our Asian and Black cookout. So if you want to see us this Sunday, we will not be live, but we will stream live out at our cookout event. That'll be the only thing that we'll have live streaming that you all will see this Sunday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll be at the Crossing in San Francisco, 200 Folsom Street. Come out and check out what we're doing, hanging out with some different folks in the community. And then next Tuesday, we'll have our Hidden Gem segment, the last one of the end of the month, on Giving Tuesday. So that should be a great show. We're going to make sure Tony brings her queen crown on and make sure she got all of her fly stuff from her photo shoot. So we make sure y'all help support it. Tony go, the queen is asking for money, not me. If the queen asks for it, they're going to get it,
okay? You didn't mention my name too many times, so let me just hop on. What's up, community? I was a little late. I had a photo shoot today, but I'm here to be in community, and y'all know John be talking so much noise, y'all. But I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. It's Tuesday. It's Hidden Gems. I even see the guests in the back talking noise because they see that John is just going up. So I can't wait to bring them up so they can be on my side. But we're gonna have an amazing show as always.
Wow, Tony. I mean, I know you're upset, about your Cowboys this week having to play on Thanksgiving, but I'm just gonna say, Tony, I still love you, Tony, okay? But
okay, but think about last year because they did play last year, just so you know. And I believe they won, so I have no worries. I have no worries.
With that being said, community, I'm going to shut up now. Enough of me. The queen is here. Tony has told me to shut up. All right? And I'm going to shut up and pass it over to our guest. Tonight, we're going to bring up our first hidden gem tonight. This queen is doing a lot of work in the community. She's an author. She's all kind of things. So tap in and check out Miss Keith Johnson. Welcome to both sides of the conversation. Our first hidden gem tonight. How you doing tonight, Queen? Talk to the people.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here, Tony, because girl, he was going in. For real.
I see you in the backstage like, what is he talking to?
I see why he's staying true. I'm like, I see why folks looking for you. They waiting for you to come outside. I see what's happening. Because even today, you just showing your behind today.
I love you already, Queen. See?
Hello, everyone. I'm Keisha Johnson. I am a mother, grandmother, daughter, sister, and friend. I saved widow for last because it is the foundation behind the book that I wrote called When She Became His. I was honored to be the partner to a good man by the name of Maurice Austin. He was originally from Chicago, but moved to the city at 9. We met at our alma mater, McAteer High School. All right, give it up for the Jaguars. We were so unaware of how much we would support, hold, and launch the other. Maurice transitioned this life on August the 1st of 2020 from COVID-19. That is where this book and so many other things began. I'm currently the Community Hub Coordinator in the Bayview for Wu Yi. I'm a Master Early Childhood Educator and Advocate, entrepreneur, author, and I'm a woman who had a story she had to share and intent on helping others tell their tale. So that's my introduction, y'all.
Wow, great stuff. And again, my condolences to your husband. Very unfortunate news. So many people are dealing with loss, and we appreciate you being here. And I heard you say, "Good brother, good brother." See,
he was a good.
There's some good brothers still out here.
Don't start nothing, John. Don't start nothing.
Girl, I'm telling you, him and the other guest, William, that they.
Yeah, William is one too. He is one too.
Can we get some help in here?
Yes.
What's going on? So I'm glad you're here, Tony. Glad you here, my sister, because they was.
I am glad you here, and I'm glad that you are here for us to shine our light on you so community can know what it is that you're doing. We want to know, and sorry for your condolences as well, but what keeps your drive going? What keeps you doing this community work?
Well, we both were big community people. We love people, and that's just both of our personalities. That's just how we moved as a couple and also as individuals. And so when he left here, then I was, the biggest thing for me was like, okay, now what I do? Like what, we was moving as a team and now I'm still here. But he was saying, okay, but that ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on. Like when you supposed to keep it pushing. So it's a lot of there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still, as long as I have breath, I'm not gonna ever say it has not been hard, that there are not moments when I don't want to. I think John had said about the events about mental health and, depression, and those things are real. Suicidal thoughts, those things are real. Those spaces are real. And it's a choice that I had to make. In order to, wake up every day and want to live this life again. And it's not easy. It really is not easy to do.
I appreciate you saying that, because sometimes it's hard for people to talk about their mental health.
Yeah.
I don't.
Us. Yeah, especially us, because we have that taboo. That we just, Black women. We suck it up. We take it. We strong. We don't let nothing break us. But that will cause you to break in more ways than one. And so you have to make sure that you are taking care. Like that self-care is real. But also, self-care is a lot of other ways, not just, popping bottles, but, self-care, and where you're really taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, that's on you. That's not on anybody else to do. That's on you.
Now let's go deeper into this, because a lot of times we talk about mental health and people say the same things that you say. No offense to you or anything, but sometimes, this platform, we keep it real. You know what I mean? We like to go a little bit deeper, and you can sit here and you can say that, but let's talk about some specific things that you did to get yourself out of bed. Because sometimes the hardest thing is getting out of the bed, brushing your teeth. Did I take a bath today or yesterday? Like, it's those little things. Like, give me some very specific things that you did to just push yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times our community, we go straight to the bottle. We go straight to smoking some weed or, indulging in other things that we shouldn't indulge in first, right, before we take care of ourselves. Right. So I know community want to know, and I want to know, like, give me some specific things that made you push yourself out of bed and get up and do this work and walk out the door and deal with community.
Yeah. You're right. And that's real. That's real. I can tell you one I guess one of the biggest things for me, when I was journaling. It wasn't really a book when I started. I was just journaling, about the experience that I had and what, our relationship and things we had gone through. And so I had took, and this was after the services. This is still in the middle of the height of the pandemic. Like, all the vaccine ain't out. People don't know what, where it's really coming from, what's really happening, and people are still really secluded, still on lockdown at the time. So I decided to go away for the weekend. And not many know, but we're going to be real on here. I really was going away, not coming back, if you get my meaning. Like I was just at the point, I just felt like this was just too much for me to handle. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to bounce back from this. And so
when you say go away, do you mean like you was like suicidal going away, or do you mean okay? Let's say that. I really want you to use those words, because that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real.
Yeah, like really contemplating, how could I do it? What way could my kids and my grandkids know, that I, didn't just leave them behind? Like, how could I do this without hurting them? That's where that was a thought that was stopping me from really going forward with it. I was contemplating and thinking about it, and I just thought, at that time, the grief was just drowning me. Like, I mean, I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see. I just felt like I was just being engrossed and immersed in water. And so I went away for this weekend. And I didn't, only essential people knew where I was. I turned my phone off. I disconnected from everyone and everybody. And I had a real conversation between myself and, I have to say, and God. I was like, okay, God, what's up? Like, what's happening here? Like, I don't understand. I don't know why you did what you did. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm confused. Like, we just had a real one-on-one conversation. Like, you got to help me with this because I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end. And so, and that weekend, I took my laptop. I hadn't even really started journaling, but I took my laptop and I just heard start writing. Opened my laptop and I started writing. And the very first chapter that I wrote about was the scene at the hospital when I went to go see Maurice at the hospital, which was very traumatic. I had to be very raw, and not only go back there, but tell what I saw while I was there. And I mean, you talking about crying all night. I mean, but I continue to write and write and write. And then I end up, I think, falling asleep for a little bit, and the curtains were drawn, but I could see the light under the curtain. And the thought just came to me, it's a new day. It's a new day. So all you have is today. Don't worry about tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now. All you have is today. And so that for me was because I've had many moments where I had to, pull myself back or, really have those hard conversations with myself and with God about, okay, so now what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to go? I don't understand how this is supposed to play out, to say what you said it was supposed to be.
It was one thing that I heard you say that really resonated. You said that you told the Lord that you was angry.
Oh, very much. Yeah. Like,
And I think a lot of believers don't think that they can actually talk to God that way. You
and
know?
yeah, it's a misconception about, I had years ago, I had my spiritual dad told me two very important things. He said, don't ever forget that God is real, and don't ever forget that his word is true.
Mhm.
And I have come to realize that just like I'm talking with you, you can talk to him. Like and the thing of it is that he already know how you feel. Like, he knows everything. So it's not like he don't already know I'm angry. He don't already know I'm confused. He already know I'm suicidal. He knows that already. But he's looking for me to bring it to him so that he can help me with it. And that is a big misconception for believers and people that have faith, is that I can't be real with God. But who else can you be real with? He created you. Like, for real. Like that. And that's just as real as it gets. Like, there is nobody I can be realer with than God.
Wow. Very powerful stuff. Keach, I want to ask the question because I really want to hear this from you, losing your husband to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, did that change you in any way? Because at the spike of COVID, there's a lot of black folks like, I'm not getting vaccinated, I'm not getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
When you lost your husband, was that the point that you like, whoa, this is real, or was it already before you was like, where were you at on that realm of like when COVID was hitting?
Okay, so let's go back. And I do talk about it in the book, but when okay, so I used to work next to Japantown, right? I was on the Geary, was the five Geary, I think it is. On the Geary, I gets on the bus, and these, Asian people are getting on, and they got these masks and these gloves on. I'm like, what the heck? I ain't supposed to be wearing no mask. They just are doing entirely too much. Okay. That was before the world shut down and everything else. But even with, hearing other people, that I knew of that had COVID, it's nothing like watching Maurice had 7 strokes. Okay, when COVID hit, it was like nothing he had ever seen, nothing I had ever seen. To sit and watch someone suffer like that, like, and at the time I didn't know it was COVID. We just thought he had the flu, or maybe it was. I was looking for another sign of stroke. Like, is he gonna have, I'm looking for his face to turn, or something, so I could, immediately take him to the ER because he didn't want to go to the hospital. But the thing that really stuck out was his breathing. It was very shallow. It was very raspy. He was, really, and almost like a gurgling. And that scared me. I was like, what in the world? And even, the symptoms of the rash, he had a slight cough, but not anything bad. And he mentioned about a sore throat, but it was very slight. It wasn't, and then we didn't know. All of those things hadn't come out yet, but they were coming out for me because I'm sitting here watching him and caring for him. And we were right here, like right in the same room, right in the same bed, the whole time he's home while he's having these symptoms of COVID. I didn't know it was COVID. So when I take him to the emergency room, I can't even go in with him. I have to sit out in the garage. I call her to see what is happening. I'm thinking, okay, well, he's had another episode of, his blood sugar was high blood pressure or whatever. And the nurse said he tested positive for COVID. You could have bought me. I was like, oh my, I was in complete shock. So then she's telling me, now you need to get tested, to make sure that you don't have those symptoms. And of course, even then, people weren't dying. I mean, some people, not people that I knew close to me. Because not only did Maurice pass from COVID, his grandmother, he passed on a Saturday morning. His grandmother passed on Monday, and he had an uncle to pass 2 weeks after the services for his grandmother and his mother. His grandmother and him. So it was 3, in the family that we knew. And there were other family members who did catch COVID, and they were hospitalized. It was rough on us. So when they said they was having a vaccine, and I didn't even take a flu shot. Like, that wasn't me. But baby, when they said they had a vaccine, I was first in line, give it to me, because I don't want no parts. And thankfully, I have not had, COVID. I thank the Lord. I don't want it. I still wear a mask because I watch somebody that I love suffer, and be sick like he had never been sick before.
And he had underlying issues. He had other health issues as well.
He did.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, he was a diabetic, and he had type 2 diabetes. But even when he went in, they were very encouraging. That they thought he would make it. At first, the medicine seemed to be correct. Get his blood sugar back and things like that. And when he took a turn, he just took a turn, and he never recovered.
Yeah, I hate COVID. COVID took my best friend out. It took her mama out. It took her brother out. That's 3 people in one family. It took my grandfather out. It took my auntie out. So I knew quite a few people that actually passed away from COVID. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something. And you can judge me if you want to. It's okay. But that scared me, and I was mad about it. But I didn't want to get the vaccination. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I had my baby at home, holistic, with a midwife and a doula, with no epidural, no potassium, no nothing. Mm-hmm. I never got flu shots. I worked in medical field for over 16 years. Never got. So I wasn't sold on putting the vaccination in my body. Right. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. And I know that sounds stupid. No. But I kind of thought that they were trying to kill us with the vaccination. And I don't know why my mind was thinking like that, when I had just lost all this family member to COVID. Uh-huh. And by the grace of God, I haven't had COVID at all. Thank you, Lord. I did eventually get vaccinated though. Uh-huh. And the only reason that I did get vaccinated is because my job was in jeopardy.
Yeah.
because I worked in the medical field, and the job told me that if you don't get the vaccination, then you can't work.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and
Yeah.
I need to work because I need my money.
Yeah. Well, and for me, I was teaching, and we had opened in June of back in June of 2021 of the only preschools that were open. So of course I'm around. We were in two pods. Our pre-K class was in two pods, but we still were around kids and families. They families were around other people. So that's another reason why I got vaccinated too. But again, I still wear my mask when I go to the
Mm-hmm.
store. And will continue to wear it until I feel comfortable with just because I don't want it. I saw what it did personally, and for me, I'm good. I'm good.
Wow. I mean, it's very powerful too. Keith, all the work you do with the young people in our community,
Hmm.
and that COVID is just something else. And I know, just hearing you and Tony now, right? I'm just listening to the news earlier today, and they talk about in China and other parts of the world, COVID cases are going up again at this
Again,
time of the
yeah,
year.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
kind of scary because we already know what it could be.
Right,
And I'm thinking
right,
like if we're already getting close to the end of the year, we got 4 countries right now that are seeing extreme cases of COVID. Are we really out of it? Right. So it's like
right, right.
we're
And
we're,
it
we're
and it
back.
happened so instant. It's like within a snap of a finger because it was like we heard about it on the news, and then 2 weeks later we locked down. Like, dang, what is really going on? But yeah, I, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's something that we're going to be on the lookout for. I know I was on a couple health calls today, and there are some rising numbers that are being
Yeah.
seen. We're getting hit with monkeypox, flu season.
And
It's going to be
RSV for kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be a challenging holiday season, and definitely we want to make sure that our community, whether you vaccinated, unvaccinated, be safe, wear a mask. You're going to be around a lot of people.
Wash your
Continue to
hands.
wash your hands,
Hmm.
safe distance, because again, these viruses and this stuff is going around our community. It is very, very real, and it is great to have you here, being vulnerable and transparent about this conversation because it hits different when it's
Right.
your,
Yeah.
front line. Like this is somebody you're there with every day to see this. So your
Hmm.
perspective is going to be intense and very taken seriously on it. But again, one of the last things that I have, your journey writing your book. I talked to you a little bit before about, your journaling and things of that nature. Just kind of take me through that process, because, having that type of story, writing about it, how was your emotions going through this book? Like,
Woo.
did you think you was gonna ever go get to the end of it? Do you think like what like give me that walkthrough of like what you were going through when you was preparing for that book?
Well, first of all, I wasn't really. I didn't receive it as a book. Okay, I was just getting it out. I've always journaled, ever since I was a teenager. I've always journaled, but it was just for me, like for me to be able to express whatever it is I needed to say. But they were always kept close to me. So that's what I was doing. It didn't dawn on me to about writing a book. But 2 months before Maurice passed, we were sitting on the bed and he was like, "Baby, you need to write a book." I was like, "Okay, well that could be." And then he said, "Yeah, you need to write a book about us." And I was like, no, I don't think so. That's too, we both very powerful people. We don't get our business out there in the streets like that. But over time, things would come to my mind, memories would come. And I would sometimes jot them down, either on my phone or I had a little tablet or notebook, and I would jot it down. And then later on, maybe a day or two, um, something that memory would vividly come. And so I would begin to just write what I saw or was hearing or what I remembered. And I, again, was just doing it to express myself and also not to forget because I was afraid of forgetting. I'm getting older. Your mind don't operate like it used to. And there were some things I wanted to make sure that I remembered. Whether it was his smell or the way his hands looked or the way that he smiled, like those were the kind of things that I wanted to make sure that if I saw a note or something, I could jog that memory again. So this is going through let's see, October, November, we got Thanksgiving, Everybody on lockdown, can't see my family. It was rough. It was rough. After Thanksgiving, here come Christmas. On lockdown, we doing a Zoom Christmas. Like, my family's in Texas, so it was rough. It was really rough. But still, I'm still, writing down the process, things that I remember. And then some things, there was a glimmer of hope. Like, if you could just do this, if you could just get over your fear of what people are going to think, what people are going to say, if you could just get your words out there, express yourself and get it out there, then you'll start to see that hope. You'll start to see it kind of ease a little. So this is 2022, beginning of January, and I have a cousin who wrote a book. And so I reached out to her and I asked her, who edited it and who she went through for publish. So she gave me 2 suggestions. I chose one of them, and both of them I sent emails to. The person who published my book, he reached out to me. We had a couple of conversations, and he was like, okay, well, just send, because it was real rough, y'all. It was just pieces here and there. There was no structure, nothing. He was like, just send it to me, and let me just look, and I'll tell you for sure. I was like, now be honest with me. Don't sugarcoat it. If I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing. I just put it back in my journal and put it on the shelf and keep it moving. And so I sent it to him, and 24 hours, he emailed me. He told me to give him a call, and he told me, you got something. He said, you need to, whatever you're going to do, finish this book. Get it out there. I'll help you structure it. I'll help you put it together. He said, but you got something. And so that little bit of encouragement caused me to go ahead and, finish it out, send it to him a little bit cleaner. And he, gave me some honest feedback. We had some hard conversations. We had some, I don't think but what I appreciated about him and what was really important for me is that he didn't change my voice. Like, he could help me to make it clearer, or to give more insight into how I was feeling and what I was trying to say, but he did not change what I was saying. And that was very important. He was very respectful. He asked a lot of questions about, what did I mean and what was I trying to get the reader to see. And so with those back and forth, we got a book. We got a book.
There you have
it. And actually, I've written 2. My second one is in editing to be published.
Wow. Powerful stuff. I mean, this is why it is so important to be vulnerable. It is so important to have the level of perseverance to get through. Your book is out. We're going to do something special, and we're going to pick up some of those books, and we're going to go ahead and buy some books, and we're going to get them to some folks in the community.
Yeah.
Because your testimony is powerful. To hear what you went through, to uplift not only yourself, but the community. I think this is going to be great. So we're going to pick up some copies, and we'll get it out to the community, and hope your book will inspire some other folks in the community.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be important to do, and we're going to get behind and support you. But Tony, if you got any final questions.
I just want to say that was very inspirational to me, what you just said. I have been told to write a book all my life. And a lot of your story, what you're saying is like I resonate with. Like, I've had vision boards where I'm saying I'm going to write a book, and it still hasn't happened. And I actually tried to write the book several times, but I had so much pain and hurt that I would get to a certain point and I would stop. You hear me? Mm-hmm. And that best friend that I told you that passed away from COVID, she was like my biggest fan. So she's heard my story several times over and over. And it got to the extent where she just started writing the book for me. And it was pretty detailed of what I've told her, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it for years and years. And then recently, this year, I had a health scare. And I was in the bed for like 2 months almost. And I did the same thing that you did. I picked up my laptop. I started writing and writing. I got 22 pages right now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. But now I went back to work and I'm healed and everything, and I haven't touched it ever since. So thank you for coming on this platform, sharing your story, because you just helped me. You know, you just helped me. Not only I know somebody else in the community you didn't help, but a lot of times we got to hear stories from queens like you, because you just never know how much a person needs to hear your story to help themselves out. And sometimes, you know, our testimony is not for ourselves, it's for other people. So I appreciate you being vulnerable. I appreciate you answering my questions in detail, because people need that, even me, you know, even me. So I'm proud of you, queen. I appreciate you. You know, we like to give people a chance to give out shout outs or any last words that you want to say to the community, because as you know, it's the holidays time right now. It's the hardest time to get feel angry, feel lonely, feel hurt, feel, you know, shameful, you know, and your story is very powerful. So please talk to the community and give them some lasting words and let them know that if you did it, then they can do it too.
What I will say is this: we all were created uniquely. We all are different, and I had to learn. I grieve my way in my time and what works best for me. What worked best for so and so and her over there and my that may not work for me. Some things I could take on and some things I couldn't. And I do it in my time and in my way. If that bothers you, then I need you to back up and move. You're not a safe space for me because I am grieving and I have to take care of me to the fact that I can be able to move forward and do whatever it is I need to do. I did join a widows group, and that really helped me because we were able to talk about the things that no one else, unless you've been through it, understood. Because I didn't want to hear you tell me it was going to be okay and it didn't happen to you. Like, to me, you talking out the side of your neck because you don't know that, because you haven't been through what I've been through. So I do believe that a community is important, but make sure that that community is healthy and that community has hope. So that will be my last shout out.
Wow. Thank you very much, everybody. When she became his 2021, go out there and get the book. Support both sides of the conversation. We will be picking up some copies. Thank you again, Ms. Keys, for coming here. You know, I'll be seeing you in the community at some point.
Yes.
I know you got your hands in a lot of different things.
Yes,
And we're going
because
to
you're gonna be in that holiday, that food giveaway. Let's talk. Because you're gonna be right in front of the hub. So
And make sure if you see me before I see you that you give me my hug.
Oh,
okay?
Absolutely. Yes.
That's all I'm asking for. Make sure you put a face with a face, because sometimes in the community I might have my hair different or something. You might be like, that girl look familiar. So you know how we change it up, Queen. So make sure if I see you first and you see me first, we got to get this exchange that energy.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It has been an absolute pleasure, y'all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, community. Go out there and support this queen. Go check out the story. Read some of the stuff that she didn't talk about tonight. I know it's some powerful stuff, but we'll be picking out some copies, and maybe we'll give a few at one of our events to somebody out there who need it. So thank you again, Queen, for coming here. Very powerful stuff. And we just appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving. I know it's a challenging one.
Yeah. Well,
keep your head up.
You know, every year, my hope is this year will be totally different from any other year. Matter of fact, I got my sweet potatoes on now, so I can go make these pies.
Hey, wait a second.
Oh, Lord, he about to beg you for a pie. Watch out. You might want to log off right now.
Community. I'm asking you. I need a sweet potato pie. My mom is going. I need a sweet potato pie with no nutmeg.
All right.
I don't eat nutmeg. I don't eat nutmeg. So I need somebody out there to make me a sweet potato pie.
Why couldn't you say mashed potatoes or greens or something? You just had to say sweet potato pie. Lord Jesus.
I am begging out there, okay? Somebody reach out to me. John Henry at BSOTV. I need a pie, okay? I'm calling Utah up because she cut off her pie orders and I couldn't get an order in. Utah, if you're watching me tonight, I want a sweet potato pie with no
Lord, I don't know how you do it, baby. I'm praying for you.
I pray. That's why we pray. That's why we pray.
I will be reaching out to you. Maybe you will come through and give me a sweet potato pie.
I'll have your pie for you tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. I got a winner. Yeah. I got a pie, y'all. All right. Well, thank you, Keith. Thank you for giving up your time. Thank you for talking to community. We are just in support of you, and just want to say you very inspiring. I've seen a few folks in the chat talking about you just inspired them to go finish up their second book, and this is what this segment is all about. And again, we only have 2 hidden gems. I know it was a little long, but again, no, but this is what it's about. Just uplifting, making sure community is aware not only of you, the work you're doing, your book. Our job as communities to go support people who look like us. We're going to do our part. You do your part, and get out there and support the book. And we'll be seeing you. And maybe when you do the second book, you could come back and talk about the second book.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to.
All right. Well, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll be coming to get my pie. I'm coming to get my pie. All right. All right, community. It took all of that to get a sweet potato pie. I had to get all the way to Tuesday to get a sweet potato pie. I had the ladies' nice conversation. I couldn't even ask for a pie because they would have probably put pie in my face, okay? But with that being said, we're going to bring up our second hidden gem. This brother been here before, okay? He was on the Man Cave conversation. He was one of the hot topics. Everybody was calling me, who is that doggone William John? He's something else, okay? But he's back. And he is a powerful brother doing a lot of amazing things in the community as well. Please don't judge him, community, because he's doing a lot of work. But we're going to bring back the myth, the legend, my brother, William Palmer. Welcome back to both sides of the conversation, brother.
Oh, Lord. Look who done stepped back on the platform. Oh, Lord.
Look who showed up to work finally. All the excuses I got.
Like that? What's up, William?
Tony. Not the music group. Where's the co-host at? Man, John, I know how it is, man. It's hard to find good help, good workers, but she cool. She all right. She'll make it. I know I need to get with Keisha though. Keisha to help me write my book. Everybody's been telling me to write it, but I always tell them the book ain't finished. Shoot. Okay, so I'm William Palmer. I am a socialpreneur. I am my current project that I'm so proud to be working on with Jihad and a lot of other brothers is Boys to Men Rites of Passage Camp. It is where we're going to take young men from the East Bay. You don't necessarily have to be having troubles, but if you are, that's even better, so that we can bring you in and teach you the things that you need to know to grow up to be a good man. And some people, some youth don't have fathers in their lives, so we want to be able to show them that example. And I should have something for you pretty soon. We're finalizing some things, so please stay tuned. We hope that this grows. We can do this every weekend camp, touch the San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, Richmond, Vallejo, wherever. Everybody, man, get a chance to earn their way into manhood. Another project I'm working on is the Beehive mural for the San Francisco Jail Number 2 Family Visiting Room. This is a project that's dear to my heart. I instantly connected with my new Sahabi, Malik Sanafaru, and we was like, come on, let's do it. And as an artist and as an artivist, which is an artist that uses his art for activism, shout out to Minister King X. He's one of the best out there in Oakland. At first, we were just going to do it for free, and he was like, "Nah, man, we need to get paid for our artistry because it's so important. What an artist does for the community is important. We wouldn't even know what the mystery schools were in the pyramids if it wasn't for artists to paint those pictures that told a story that reminded us of our history and who we are. And we do that as artists. So it's also very important for artists to be treated right. I mean, it's their intellectual property. So people like Ye, he should control his art. He should be able to get paid. And those who's writing the contracts shouldn't be cheating them out of his money. So that's another topic. I don't want to get booed off both sides of the conversation before I finish tonight. I ain't worried about being canceled, but because like Ye said, I do this for an audience of one. But I'm also the CEO of Studio 3 to the Third Power. It's a investment. It's a community investment company, I like to say, because I invest in the Black community. I'm in the process of putting together an investment deck to buy the Clay Theater on Fillmore and Clay in the Fillmore district here in San Francisco, so we can put on Black film festivals and brothers and sisters around, in the East Bay can. If you think you got some talent, send me a clip. Once we get it, send me a clip. I put you on stage. I throw you up there, and we want to be in control of our narrative, man. We want to put out the movies that the big studios don't want to. So, independent filmmakers, if you got an iPhone, you want to do a 15-minute short, 10-minute short, I'm hoping to be able to give them that exposure. I'm also the executive director of Life After Next. Life After Next, Love Life, Don't Take Life. That's a shout out to my boy Donald Lacey, who we became very close over the last couple of weeks. Godfather of Oakland, as we say. And Love Life, after that foundation, is the motto of Oakland. So, Miss Tony, come on, man, can you love some life? I'm just trying to spread the love so you can love some life. I ain't done too. You can put me back up. I ain't done.
I love Donald Lacey, by the way. That's a good guy right there. That's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. I'm glad to be in this company that he embraced me like this. And last but not least, I'm the editor in chief of the San Francisco Bayview Black National Newspaper. It is an honor. I want to thank Mary and Willie Radcliffe, Dr. Radcliffe, for trusting me with this seat. There have been a few that came before me, but for the most part, Mary has held it down almost single-handedly for a long, long time. And she said when she found me that she's been searching for decades, and she believes she found the right one. And that right there touched me to my soul. And so I want to take the paper to a whole new level, different platforms. I might have to get with you, John, man, because I see you all over the place. You on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm like, man, John, you're gonna have to show me how that black print, share that black print so I could put it down. But the Bayview, we're getting our newspaper done by San Francisco Chronicle now, so it's slim, trim. It's in the same format as one of those prestigious newspapers, but we are legendary. Prestigious might not be the best word for us. We're a legendary newspaper, so I shout us out all the time. And just for those who know me from back in the day, as a youth offender, at the age of 17, I went in, but at some point I had to grow up and most definitely love myself so that I could love others as well. And I changed the regulations pertaining to SB 260 youth offender hearings to win my liberations and that of hundreds of thousands of others that was in since under the age of 23 for sure, but many was under the age of 18. And so DA Brooke Jenkins, I heard that you already want to send 16 and 17-year-olds to prison. And I just heard recently you want to send all juveniles that do anything to prison. Well, you really haven't met me yet. We've come in contact, but you have not met me yet. And if you do that, you will be meeting me. And so that's a shout out to you. And it's no violence. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I will protest that. I will be your strongest opponent against that. So, but today you can find me dedicated to setting the captives free and preventing the mass incarceration of our children. I reside on the Sheriff Department Oversight Board for San Francisco, and I have plans to run for the mayor of San Francisco one day so that system impacted people know that just because they put us in, just like Joshua in the Bible, his brothers threw him in the well. He went to prison and got out, and he ruled over the land. So I'm gonna set my people free and bring them on into the United States and live a good life, especially up here in the East Bay. Prices so damn high. I got to be a mayor so I could bring these prices down to a reasonable cost. And with that, so brother number 9 drops the mic. Oh, wait a minute, that's her on there.
So listen, I got a lot of stuff, okay? First of all, I want to say thank you for being here, King. But I want to say a couple things because I don't know, and I want to be a part of this conversation, but I know when you talked about DA Jenkins, I've been on a couple of those calls about some of her plans, not all of them, all right? But I know there was some things that she put specifically that was going to impact you when it came to those type of charges that will send them to prison or things of that nature. And I'm gonna just say the first list that she put out, what they was going for, I thought was fair and reasonable, just on some level. Okay. But I don't get into politics. I do want to have a conversation because I think it is a conversation needed to have with people. I've been incarcerated. I mean, we have to have a conversation, right? I think it's a real conversation that's needed. We do need to really look at the system holistically, and how prison impact community. I mean, that's an ongoing thing. We know how much harm it does cause. But William, you know, and I know, okay, these young folks is out of control in a lot of areas.
But hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Before we start blaming the young folks for being out of control, it takes a community to let them get out of control. You can't sit up there and pump crack and guns and gangs and promote gang violence into our communities, and then when they react the way you want them to, lock them up and say, "See, they're animals." This is the same game plan they did in slavery. They said we were uncivilized, that we weren't human, that we had to be saved by these Christian preachers. And no offense to anybody that's Christian, because the first Christians were the Coptic Christians in Ethiopia. So we were the first to do that too. But you can't come over here and use the same messaging. And let's remember, over 50% of slaves on plantations when slavery was held by individuals was people under 19 years old. See, we think that they were all grown ass folks shifting and shuffling and being jive, working their fingers to the bone. But over 50% of slaves were under the age of 19, and about 20% of those was under the age of 9. So when putting our kids into slavery, killing them and shooting them and sending them through a school system that is a pipeline to prison, you can't sit up there and take that position without first cleaning up the aftermath of the crack epidemic. If you ain't putting together something to say, we're going to clean up the mess that the government did and put that money out there in the South America that is still ripple effects of that war of fighting each other, you can't then turn around and say, we're going to fill up our prisons with youth offenders, not after all the work that we've done to empty them.
Right, and I'm 100% there with you now, and I'm sorry if it came all right. All we know, there's blame all around what the problem is, but we do have a trend of our young people in the community that I work with these young folks. I'm up there at the jail, so I know we got some young folks that need some real heavy support and love. We got to bring some foundation and support back to our community. Again, I'm not gonna put the blame just on the young people. Our adults are failing our young people in the community every day. It's a lot of work, you know what I mean? But we do have to. This lawlessness is out of control, and whenever my thing is this: when you're preying on elders in the community, young people, I mean, that's not cool, right? And we got to have some conversations about that, because that type of stuff we cannot have in our community. We cannot have the elders of our community afraid to go to grocery stores, afraid to move around, because young people and people of the community, not just young people, people of our community, all age groups, preying on our elders. We can't have that. We cannot have that, and I cannot stand for that. You know what I mean?
We can't have that, and I stand with you. I stand on the front lines. I walk the streets. I talk to them, but still, if you have not decreased the funding for police and put that money into programs, not just a community center where you have the freedom to go there if you want to or not in an unsafe environment, or give us a holiday. The president gave us a freaking holiday. What about giving us money so that we can build banks in our community, hospitals in our community, food distribution centers in our community, and schools in our community that are run by us? What about that? What about all the cities that have been flooded by water? And I'm going to get those by name, and I'm going to give them to you and share them on all my platforms. But there are numerous cities that were Black, that when they started prospering and doing good for themselves, they literally put water on top of them, and they are at the bottom of lakes today. So you can't talk about locking up our children when you ain't first giving us the reparations that we deserve from the crack epidemic that you put into our communities and made these children not respect people. Crack made them not respect elders because the elders were smoked out, robbing and doing things and setting an example for them. But now me and you have come home. Brothers like us have come home when they said that we supposed to come home in a pine box, that we wasn't even fit to come home, kept us in there for decades. And you're not even going to give us 10 years to make a difference in our community? before you take that policy and resurrect it and start locking them up again. Just enforce the law, and let's see how many police officers and district attorneys actually put they mouth what they policy is and help the kids.
I agree 100% with you. I'm not going to debate you on that. I agree with you.
Don't get me started, John.
We're going to have a real conversation, but I want to get to some of these questions now. Okay, because I'm gonna get you fired up on this. Kids. And I'm glad that you're here tonight, because we're talking about the work that you're doing with the San Francisco Baby Hunters Point newspaper. I'm a resident of this district, been here 43 years. All right, William. And I'm gonna just tell you, I'm glad you're here, because brother, I should be in the Bayview paper. Okay, I just want to say it, and I don't like to toot my own horn. I said, how is it? I look at the Bayview newspaper, and we're covering everywhere across the world, but we have a D10 resident, a pillar of the community, and there's no article about both sides of the conversation. What's going on over there, William? I'm going to call Mr. Radlick up myself, and I'm going to ask him, what's going on? What's the problem? Why is it both sides of the conversation on the front page of the newspaper? I'm going to have that conversation, brother. But you're here tonight, so I know you're going to change that, okay? And I don't like to shoot my own horn, but I said, man, I see them recognizing my people. But I said, what about both sides of the conversation, huh? What's going on in D10, huh? Is it a conspiracy in D10? Because I'm like, my own people doing me in D10. What's going on, y'all? Talk to me, William. Why am I not on the front page of the paper, okay?
Well, that's what I was brought in for. You know, the Bayview has been, struggling financially, barely getting by. We run primarily on donations. We send 3,000 newspapers into the prisons. Most of them, the majority of them are for free. We put out bundles, which is 50, which is equivalent of $300 a bundle, out into the communities and nonprofits and stores and whatnot. So, if you out there, if you're listening, chip us off, man. We are the only newspaper that really have the voice. Oh, I forgot the I in night visiting. Don't worry, that's Twitter. You put that I up in there, and you be all good. You get to me. I don't use Twitter that much anyway, especially now that Elon got it. You don't know what to do with that. You need to send it over to me. It should be Twitter Bayview, SF Bayview tweet. That's what we're gonna rename Twitter, SF Bayview, the black Twitter. Anyway, though, he should get asked about that and really create Black Twitter through us. But anyway, that's just an idea that keeps popping up. But yeah, the Bayview, man, we doing a lot, and our new rollout next year is going to be amazing. And I don't say that lightly, but you're going to be in our paper, because I'm going to make sure you're in my paper. Not my paper, our paper, the community's paper. The community's paper.
No, definitely. I mean, you guys have been around for a long time, keeping folks uplifted with the news. And definitely, I appreciate all the writing projects and stuff that goes on with the Bayview paper in the prisons. Yes, community, get out there and support, donate. The paper, they do highlight a lot of the work that's going on in our community, keeping our community update with the politics, what's going on. And, I just want to say this because getting a hold of Brother Radcliffe is very hard. But I think both sides of the conversation, all of our community medias should definitely have a meeting someday. And I've been saying this to Sun Kids, the Post, all of us, right?
Yes.
To really talk about how do we continue to amplify Black voices. The paper was the original start of the information. Now we have this digital media, this technology. Things are moving fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But again, how do we all work together? Because that's one of the things that I would like to see, because I think we all have a way of connecting people. And I think we have to use all of our platforms to highlight the people, to make sure that our community is aware. It's not just both sides of the conversation. It's not just, the Bayview. It's not just the Post. It's all of us collectively making sure that Black voices, Black information is being uplifted. And I'm definitely looking to figure out how do we do that. All right. And we got to talk to these people. And this is why I'm saying to the elders out there about when I'm talking about passing the torch. Okay. And when I'm talking about our elders passing the torch to the young people, as this technology changed, as the way people get information changed, when the elders came in, you got respected by being a journalism and all of this, right? You got a degree in journalism. We're in a different time now. Information move faster. And I think sometimes the elders hold on to that. They feel like, well, we did this to get to where we at. You guys didn't go to journalism school, so how can you call yourself a journalist? Hey, we about moving information. We about the people. And again, the communities that also transition faster than other communities always prosper and win. But we too busy fighting over this stupid stuff that other community information is moving faster. They not sitting there complaining off the things that we complaining. So my thing is, my ass is you taking over a young brother doing your thing. Just really consider how do we work together in this media realm, and how do we respect the work that everybody does and understand that there are changes in the way this media and the way this information is working. That again, we are all in it to make sure that we amplify Black voices and making sure that we're changing that narrative through our messaging. That's just something that I really want to see, and I know some folks are trying to move into that. I would really like to see that, man, because we need it. And we have our certain people, you have your certain, everybody has a group of people that people reach out to get information. I just think it would be something powerful when we talk about solidarity. How do we bring us together to really have a larger amplified voice of the Black people?
And we need to set that up for spring, man. Let's get that going in spring. Let's have a Black media conference. We could start off just here in the Bay, and then spread out to LA, then across the nation, and keep it growing. I see it like this, bro, and I've been having this conversation as well. I wouldn't even be here today, and I'm gonna give a shout out to All of Us None. I was an All of Us None fellow, communications fellow, and they taught me just enough to fake my way into this position. I ain't gonna lie to you. Taught me just enough, but no. On the serious note, like if we got together, everybody, and got our own TV station as well, and had all our shows on one central location where we ain't got to compete with each other. We got Monday through Sunday. We got 24-hour channel. We could repeat things. We could fill it up. We got too much content here in the Bay Area not to have our own all Black channel. Like, we got to think bigger. We have to think big. We have to think outside of the box. Hell, look at this box you guys got me in right now. I already feel claustrophobic, man. I partly reason why I stayed in prison, because I just wouldn't conform to the way they wanted me to think. They wanted me to think inside this cell. I'm thinking, man, I'm past the prison already, man. And that's how you get free. You have to break past this imprisonment of our minds, thinking we only got crumbs. No, we ain't only got crumbs. We can break bread. We can bake bread and break it with each other. We don't need nobody. And again, there are at least five Black towns covered in water. They can't cover Oakland in water. There's too many white folks in it. They can't cover San Francisco in water. They can't cover us in water now. We moving in a different time. We moving in a different era. But we got to do what our ancestors did. We have to build that project. And when we build it, like they say, they will come. When they see strong Black leadership, when they see a strong Black movement, and it doesn't even take violence, it will come. And I'm gonna say this to all those people who are watching that aren't of the Black community, the Aswad, Balada Sudan. I use the word Aswad. It's an Arabic word that means Black. It means empowerment first, original. It means greatness, right? Authority, like the Black robe. So when I say Black, that's the word that goes through my mind, not Negro or Negro in Spanish, which means dead. So I like to throw that word out there, Aswad, right? Get that in your head. Say it a couple of times. Go look it up. So when this Black energy rises up, white people are afraid of it because they think we're going to do to them what they did to us. But I like to tell them, look back in the history. That's just ain't the case. If South Africa didn't kill every white person in South Africa, why would we? Like, it doesn't even make sense. You don't have to fear us being your quote unquote equal. So when we get in control of our narrative and we raise the dead, and they start moving in the light of the Creator, that's fearful for a lot of people, bro. People are scared of that. And I've heard too many people who talk to me in private say, William, when you guys take your spot, when you guys rise up, that's going to save this country. Like, I have conversations with non-Black people who talk like that. And it scares me to hear them say it. I'm like, what is the CIA? I'm checking for bugs in my house. You know, I was like, hold on, I don't know what you're trying to set me up for, but that's the truth. The reason why they had to take our language, our culture, our religion, and everything about us, make us inhuman, fist of a human being, they had to make sure we didn't know we were Israelites. I'm Muslim. And so for me to tell you that we come from the stock and the blood of the Israelites, that's a lot. You know, we're supposed to be mortal cousins, but we're not. Many people who call themselves Jews converted to Islam because of the peaceful movement that it was at the time, and they were being persecuted by other people. So don't get it confused. Muslims and Jews and everybody and Christians, at one time we got along, and that's because we were on the same accord. It was about Black power. It was about Afrocentricness. It was about God first. God first.
Wow, powerful stuff. Tony, you got anything? Tony just sitting there. See, Tony listens. She said, I'm going to be silenced. The men asked us to be silent. I'm just going to be silent.
I appreciate you listening to us, Tony. And
you always a hot mess, I swear. I mean, everything you were saying is so true. Like, I have 4 brothers, you know, and one of my brothers is locked up for life and has been in and out of the system since he was about 11 years old, you know. And so when you talk about these type of things, it hits deep for me, you know. And since he's been there, he sounds like Malcolm X now. When I talk to him on the phone, I say, "Brother, can you talk regular? Because I can't keep up with the words that you're saying. I can't have a conversation with you because you're 10 times smarter than me, you know." And so when I hear like people like you trying to make a difference in the community and doing things for young people, I just wish that, like, you know, that this was, like you said, if we had our own this and our own that and our own this, we could be more protective and look out for our youth, and a lot of them wouldn't be in the places that they're at right now, you know. And so, like, I do listen, and I do take it it hurts me because we got so much work to do, and I appreciate the work that you're doing in the community. But you know, I heard you say you've done some time, and what was that? How did you get out of that mind frame and come out and make a difference and do something completely different than how you got to where you were at?
I know by the way that I started this conversation today, you might think of me as, you know, Black militant Muslim, but I'm actually not. I consider myself bad and bougie. I am as bougie as you can get.
I figured that out on the Man Show, but
okay,
yeah.
Good. I'm glad I didn't fool you. I could see that you seen that. So the mindset that I had to get out of was my grandmother come from Texas. My other grandma come from Oklahoma. They migrate here. My grandmother had a bachelor's degree, went on and got a master's degree. Her husband, my grandfather, he was a professor at the college that he knocked her at. So, you know, they were educated people. I was educated, even though I dropped out of school early. I had enough sense and just education from home to where I was passing tests without ever bringing a book home since the 3rd grade. At least I was getting C's for the most part, until I was like, what am I in school for? You teaching me Rockefeller set up the school system to make us workers, to make us work for the 2%ers. So I was already like, I can do my work by myself. I was making $40,000 a year at 17 years old. You know, what I need school for? And so I did. And so when they locked me up, I went to juvenile hall. My mom was like, look, you could barely read and write. I know you got it up there, but you need to be able to put it on paper. You're going to need that. I was like, I know, Mom. And so I went to school and got my first A on a spelling test since the 3rd grade. And I felt like that was the biggest thing in the world. I was like, I was proud of myself. I was juiced. And so I went and got my AA degree, and I studied every book like your brother's probably doing. If he sounded like Malcolm X, I went from the autobiography of Malcolm X all the way to the ISIS paper, Blood in My Eye, you know, all the essential books. J.A. Rogers is his whole library collection you must read through if you haven't. And so I had all this. My spirituality was on point. My intellect was on point. You know, my eating habits wasn't all that great because I was still eating honey buns, but I was exercising, so I was physically tight. I was eating all that processed, wrapped up food that was killing me, and I didn't even know it. But there was one thing that I was missing, Tony. The one thing that put all that into shape. I had to learn to love myself. It took me 45 years of living on this earth to know how to love me. And I love me some me. And the cold thing about it, there was this black principal woman. I wasn't going to say her by name, but I got to. Her name was Dr. Williams. She called me every name in the book, narcissist, this, that, and the other. And I said, why? Because I love me. I love me some me for the first time in my life. I'm a narcissist because I learned to love me. And in this dark cloud of prison, if I don't love me, who will? If I don't say the things that I need to say to remind myself that I am bigger than this situation that I find myself in, who is going to do that for me? And so I had to defy even staff and my fellow convicts and inmates. I think I explained on another show what those three things is: convicts, inmates, and prisoners. Convicts are those still people running around in their convictions, still acting a fool, thinking that they made us some system, convict rules system that actually can work out for them. The inmates are the ones that's a little still kind of, not fully healed yet. But the prisoner, them is on those prisoners are on their job. They heal themselves, they find them a key, and they get up out of the pen, however they got to. And that's what I looked down at my clothes and it said CDCR prisoner. It didn't say convict, it didn't say inmate, it didn't say Muslim, it didn't say man, it said CDCR prisoner. And once I understood that too, I went to the law library and figured out a law how to get my ass up out of there. That's how you got me in. That's how I was going to get out. So that's what you have to do. You have to be more than woke. You have to be conscious and live your consciousness and then discover your purpose. And I was going to even offer my services as Life After Next for your brother. He already seems like he got it somewhat together, like he's talking the talk. But like I said, if he hasn't really truly learned to love himself, and that means you are able to love everybody outside of yourself. That's the true mark of knowing how to love yourself. So I actually love you, Tony, even though it's hard. I love my sisters out there that
I
give me
love
a
you
hard
now. I
time.
love you now because you told me your grandmother is from Oklahoma, and that's my home state. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. My family's from Shakota, Oklahoma. But I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go
Okay.
deep like we did with the first guest. Again, you saying love yourself,
Hmm.
and I heard you say that you had your grandmother. You had the foundation, and we all know that grandma is the foundation, right?
Right.
But what was that one thing that made you wake up and say, I love William? Like, what did you do to get yourself? Like, did you just look in the mirror and say, okay, today I love myself? Because you got to give community the very specific things to do
Okay.
to help them love themselves. Was it a book that you wrote? I mean, that you read? Was it that you got on your knees and you kept praying and asked God to help you to love yourself? What was that exact point that got you to love yourself?
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked it a little bit more clearly so I can nail it on the head for you. Um, so I have been dating someone for a little while, and I got a denial of parole, and she's like, I can't do that. I can't do no more with you. And I was like, huh? I, you know, so she broke my heart. Right. I literally cried in front of people. Like I was ready to go. It was on. And I fell into a depression. And then one day while I was in my bunk, I mean, when I say depression, I don't mean like, oh, I don't want to get up and go to work today. No, I wasn't getting out of bed except to use the bathroom, take a shower every now and then, and eat some food whenever I got really hungry. And as a Muslim, we fast for 30 days. So I can go 2 or 3 days without eating if I wanted to, right? But that's how deep of a depression I have fallen into. And then I heard this chant. These men and not too far away from me was like, stand up, man up. I was like, ooh, I resonate with stuff like that. And it just woke me up. So a trigger can be anything. And this triggered me to get up out of my bunk. And I went over there and I sat by them and just to listen because I'm slow to join anything, right? And they taught me the difference between emotional thinking and rational thinking. And for 45 years, all I did was think emotional. How is this going to make me feel? How is doing this going to make me feel? How is not doing this going to make me feel? And I never had a real rational thought that I can pinpoint in my life. And it took a matter of time and shifting. But I went to the phone. I called it because, you got to try to get her back. And I said, look, I just discovered this thing called rational thinking. And she was like, man, it's too late. Don't call me no more. I'm out. And I was like, all right, you're gonna regret this. And so it was a part of just understanding my brain function, understanding like a lot, just that trigger of switching over from being a boy to being a man. When you can't really love yourself in an immature state. You like yourself, you like to play, and you're very emotional. That's kiddie stuff. But that's what the Bible said. Once you become a man, you put away kid stuff. Kitty stuff act like that. Boys and girls. And when we become men and women, we begin to think rationally, and we are able to put those spiritual teachings, those intellectual teachings, those physical teachings into a plan. And that's how I got out. That's how I learned to be like, what does love being me mean? And instead of an emotional, like, I need sex, or I need some drugs, or I need this. No, those were emotional things that I used to put in. I was like, no, I need a plan to get my ass up out of the penitentiary. That's how loving me is going to show up. And it ain't about chasing after another pen pal or another date or another this or another that. I had everything I already needed. All the skills was there. I just had to figure out how to put it together. And that's what it was. And when I saw what I could do for myself, and that the ripple effect that it helped other people, I said, that's love. I had to sacrifice. I had to sacrifice the things that I desired to want. I had to feel comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I knew that these people were going to break me through the coals. But I knew if I stayed the test, if I walked that walk, then hundreds of other people who were dependent on me was going to walk out the doors with me. And that's love. Love requires sacrifice. Love requires a sense of outside of yourself. And that's why it's easy to love somebody outside of myself, because that's what it requires to truly love me.
And you said what I wanted to hear. You said exactly what I wanted you to say. You said that you have to be uncomfortable. And a lot of us, we want to be comfortable. We want to eat what we want to eat. We want to do what we want to do when we want to do it, you know? But it seems like from the first guest that I heard tonight, and as well as you, like, you had to sit with yourself.
Yeah.
You had to really sit with yourself and figure out what your values and your beliefs was. And then that's when you started ascending.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that happened for you, because I don't want more and more people in our community to go 45 years to figure out they love themselves. You know? So I appreciate you, brother.
And there are many transitions that we go through, like as kids, from birth to about four to about 9, 10, preteen, all these little young transitions, right? And then we think once we get to about 25, when our brain is fully developed, we made it to adulthood. But there's another transition from 25 to about 36, right? And that's when you start to transition into elderhood. And when you get into your elderhood at 40, that's when your complete minds, the brain and the mind are two different things, right? Your mind, and the word man don't mean male, like, that's just the male version of the word, but man means mind. And so all these new languages, and this new language, I can get on that, but the new language stuff is a distraction. I don't want to call myself a one man. I'm a one X. See, all that shit is distraction. God gave us words to use for a reason, and words are powerful. So when we say mankind, it means the mind. It means the mind, and the mind that gives birth is a mind womb. And what better privilege to have than to give birth to more minds? Like, wow, right? And so my point was, once you understand like who you are, you know, it's easy to do it. And sometimes it does happen till 40. Just some of us are able to like pretend or fake it till we make it, or have a level of maturity that protects us spiritually, energetically, whatever vibration. But once you get to 40, most people start to say, it happened to me at 39. I felt a physical change happen through my entire body once my mind developed into an adult frame, right? And it just took about 5 more years or so for me to figure out how to use it. See, I didn't have a lot of guides in my life to teach me how to use my mind to excel, to ascend mentally in my mind. I had a lot of people to teach me how to use my body. My body is amazing because of all that type of guidance and education. People taught me how to use my soul, how to pray real hard to where you sweat blood, right? That's all great too. You need that. But how many teachers actually teach us how to master our mind? That's how King Tut rose to be a king at 9, as a youngster, as a teenager, right? If we are able to tap into this at a level in which we have never had in this age that we see today, we would definitely have a bloodless revolution that would happen in 40 days instead of 40 years.
Wow, very powerful stuff, King. You always go deep. Now, I didn't hear about the 3
She
wives
did
and
it.
sister wives, but I'm just saying, hey, at the end of the day, I mean, very powerful stuff. I mean, it's a lot of work. And I think that's why the program that you wanted with our young people is so important. And I think, Tony, right, you hit on, how do we love ourselves and make it okay?
Yeah.
How do we set those boundaries that it's okay to love yourself? And sometimes we can't love ourselves because we get caught in these boxes of narcissism and red flags and all of these slogans that we use to try to tell us that we're not okay as individuals. But I think it is very powerful when oneself can tap into the love of their self and understand their mission and vision. Because again, as you always said, the higher spirit is what leads us. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and say, how did I do this? But that's just the spirit of our ancestors, the spirit of the work of the Lord. And I always tell people this stuff is in us. For us
Yes.
to do the work is in us. And that comes from our ancestors, that comes from the higher spirit that moves us.
Mm-hmm.
We just a vessel, okay? We just a messenger for the message. Sometimes people say, John, how did you get this? How did you think of this? Hey, it just came to me. The Lord put this in there. Maybe it wasn't for me. And I like Tony saying that. Maybe it's not for you. It might be for somebody else. And that's just what it is. And we just got to push forward with that,
We got to be okay that somebody ain't like us, we all got our roles to play. I know I want my hands in different things, trying to buy the Clay Theater so that I can give an outlet to more conscious music and content for movies and things of that nature, instead of some of this stuff that leads us to, shoot up and that. And I get it. The beats are always great. And I find myself, but I want a little bit more out of my music and my entertainment. I've already X'd off slave movies. I don't watch that no more because I'm not a slave. That don't do nothing for me. I want to watch something else, but I wanted to read $2 billion a year, $2 billion a year on Air Jordans. Our community alone, our community, Black folks, us, Aswad, Balada, Sudan, we spend $2 billion on Air Jordans. $4 billion on alcohol and liquor. Now imagine that. $4 billion on alcohol and liquor. I know we like a little sips here and all that. I don't personally like the taste of it, so I've never been into it. But $4 billion, 600 million on fast food. The quickest way to kill yourself is to go get some fast food. And we spend 600 million. I'm glad the number is at least that low. It's not in the billions. I was surprised about that. We buy twice as many Mercedes Benz than white people, and they have twice the wealth that Black people have. So what I say is when I talk about investing in the Clay Theater, because I need some help, and I'm talking about investing in this apartment building so we can house our formerly incarcerated people so that we can help them find their purpose. And Tony, I would love to help your brother find his purpose. When I talk about this, I ask the Black folks for money first because we got billions. If we just put it in the right direction, build our schools, build our hospital, build our food distributions, and build our banks, we'd be out of this mess in 40 days. And when I say 40 days and 40 years, it's the biblical reference of the promised land. They were supposed to get to the promised land in 40 days, but it took them 40 years to kill off a generation of people who couldn't get their shit together. Excuse my French.
It's all good. That's what we do. We keep it real here at both sides of the conversation. William, you've been powerful. You've been a light to some of the darkness that's going on in our community. Very powerful stuff. Tony, if you don't have anything else, William, we want to give you an opportunity to give your shout outs, holla at your people, whatever you want to do, give some parting words to the community before we let you out of here. I know it's been a long night, and then we can have the benediction from the bishop. I'll be giving another benediction tonight before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I just want to hear more from William. I want, you to give as much encouraging words to our youth, to our community. I mean, we say youth, and I'm all for the youth. Youth is number one, but we also still have 40-year-old people that don't love themselves, and those are the people that's showing the examples for the youth, and the youth are still going down that wrong path. So, the floor is yours, brother.
Um, yes. First, let me give a shout out. Alhamdulillah, all praise be to Allah. I wouldn't be serving this purpose without him. And anything that I said was wrong came straight from my own ignorance. I didn't do my due diligence and studies, but anything that I said that was correct or helpful to and healing to anybody, that's contributed all to the Most High. He did that through me as a vessel, right? Like John said. Shout out to Mary and Willie again. They changed my life. I mean, literally, I had no idea what becoming the editor in chief of the SF Baby would be. Shout out to Nube, Griff, Sophia, the Minister of Information, Kevin, and the whole staff and crew that's coming on and have been for many, many years holding it down. Shout out to all of us, to LSPC and that organization over there for giving me an opportunity to come in, learn, and grow. Shout out to Ann Strozer. I can say she already knows I can never pronounce that name. There's too many consonants and not enough vowels. But she's the head of San Francisco Jail Justice Coalition. We do a lot of work, and there's plenty of people. Shout out to my sahabis. You know who you are, Ishmael, Jr. All of y'all. It's too many y'all to name, but you know who you are, who I run with, my inner circle. I couldn't do it without you. Everybody who loaned me money when I was broke, wasn't even on unemployment and couldn't even get on welfare. They said I made $40.11 too much. Wouldn't even give me general assistance. I wanted to come back and shoot up something. Man, I was gonna go back to the penitentiary off of that one. $40.11. You better be glad that was a phone call I had and not an in person. But no, I'm just kidding. I would never hurt a fly, but it did piss me off. But to all the people who had my back, man, giving me $500, $300, $1,000, like people who didn't even know me a year ago was kicking me in so that I could pay my rent. And shout out to all of y'all, man, all of y'all. And I don't say your name because I don't want, to embarrass anybody, but you know who you are. And God's going to bless you tremendously. I want to leave you with this, man. I hear a lot about trauma and triggers, right? I want you to know that trauma is life. You're not getting out of this without no trauma. And so forgive yourself and the person who may have caused this trauma. Trauma is a energy that allows you to work yourself into a position, right? Mr. America or Mr. Olympia don't get those big muscles because he was just playing with some weights and lifting a couple 5 pounds. He was lifting mass weights. He was taking in a lot of nutrition. And so trauma is your way of being able to condition yourself for a lot of things that come your way. And they create triggers. Triggers help you understand where your weaknesses are, what you need to be concentrating on, some unhealed, not unhealed, but some unskilled parts of you as your mind is weak. So triggers help you to see where you're weak at, something happens, and now you need to, instead of react to something, how to respond. That you are bigger than a situation that you find yourself in because you have the skill set to create a different situation to make things different. And then that is the triumph. So these are the triple T's that I want to pass on to our community, to be triumphant over all of these obstacles, over all of this life that throws at you, because it's coming. You're not getting out of it. I don't care how much money you make. You're not going to get out of this without any trauma, triggers, but you can be triumphant if you just stay the course, learn as you grow, listen to somebody, please ask some questions. Young folks, ask some questions. I get it. I know you know everything. I did too. We all did, but ask some questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to work with each other, man. And last but not least, man, if Willie Brown is out there listening, I know he's not. He's probably asleep by now. It's past his bedtime. Willie Radcliffe, he's on his last, few years of life. Hopefully, y'all two need to make up. The two big Willies of San Francisco need to wake up, and then we need to unite our powerful leaders. Like Tony said, we got our elders as well as our youngsters. We need y'all. We need all of us to be healed and on the same page. At least friends, the San Francisco Bayview newspaper made Willie Brown the mayor of San Francisco. So you owe Dr. Radcliffe a thank you, and to leave this world. Both of y'all is at that stage where you guys need to lead this world as friends. And if this Willie, as Williams, I don't go by Willie, but if this William can mediate that situation, that would be one of the biggest honors that I could ever have in this life. And if I die tomorrow, man, trust and believe I lived a great life. 31 years and 22 days may have been behind the bars, but these 3.5 years that I've been out, man, it's been beautiful. And if they give me 3.5 more years, it's just icing on the cake. I thank you, John and Tony, man, for having me on again. Love to come back. You will have something in the newspaper. And Tony, if you have anything as well, man, I love you. I love what you guys are doing. Let's create this Black media. And yeah, props, peace, blessings to the community.
Now, Williams, I cannot let you go on that note, okay? Both sides of the conversation is very powerful.
Yes.
You might not think Mr. Willie Brown is not listening. There's always somebody paying attention to both sides of the conversation. And with that being said, we're going to make that connection happen. We're going to get the Willies together.
Yes.
Both of the Willies are very powerful.
Man, can you imagine that photograph?
Come on, man. We're going to get it. We're going to make it happen. We're going to speak that into fruition.
Man, that storyline will be powerful.
Conversation. We're going to help. We're going to work with SF Baby Paper, and we're going to make this happen. We're going to have both sides of the conversation with the Willies. All right?
Yes. And shout out to London Breed, man. Shout out to London Breed. She don't get a lot of credit for the things she do good. She may make some decisions that I don't care for everybody, but who's perfect, right? But shout out to our leadership in San Francisco, and hopefully the brother that did actually win the mayor in Oakland, who got robbed, hopefully them recount them votes, man, and get him in office, man. Shout out to our leadership.
Man, very tragic news. I know a lot of people was upset. The numbers came out. Loren Taylor did not win the mayor of Oakland. But again, there's a lot of work. And, you know, the process is over. And, you know, how do we now as community work together? And I know some folks are saying, hey, you know, we got an Asian mayor now and this and this and this. But events like what we're promoting, how do we really bring solidarity to our communities? We got to be open to change. We got to be open to opportunities. I think if both communities can stick together, work together, there is a possibility for some amazing things that can take place. Oakland, it's a new day, a new mayor. Hey, let's see what it do. Let's just see what it do. And let's see how do we work together. The election is over. Now, this is when the work begins. Is like I said, here in San Francisco, all of the elected officials who got reelected, all of the elected officials that's back in seats, it's time to do the work now. People need us. We are in tragic times. We are draining in this country, okay? Our people need some help. We got to put the politics to the side. Let's get some work done. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's sit down at the table and find out how we can push policies and make sure that we get the people in the community an opportunity to thrive, okay? So that's where I'm at with it. But, Miss Tony, before I let you go, is there anything you want to tell the people before I give the benediction, Queen?
I just want to say, first of all, thank you to our guest tonight. What I heard is exactly what your website says, Life After Next. We all have trials and tribulations. If it's divorce, if it's losing a loved one, if it's going into a depression, if it's having an addiction, it's life after next. We all can ascend through whatever it is that has come in front of us. And like I said earlier, your story may not be for you. Your story is for community. Your story is for your nieces that you need to be helping, your community that you need to be helping, your neighbors that you need to be helping. We can't even go to our neighbors anymore and borrow an egg like we used to back in the day. We can't send our children outside and play outside and be comfortable that they're playing outside without them getting shot up or getting abused or getting kidnapped or something. We have to change the narrative. And there's life after all of that. There's some type of pain that we're all going to endure. But that pain creates creativity, as you have seen tonight on this platform. Both guests that spoke tonight, they was creative. And they went beyond what has happened to them because they didn't want to be stuck in that position. In community, sit down with yourself. Sit down with yourself. Speak to the Lord. And maybe you don't believe in the Lord. Maybe you don't. But you got to find something deep inside of you that makes you believe in yourself. Because believe it or not, you are God and God is you. And that's what it is. Together we can ascend. And just like my brother said, like, ask questions, ask for help. It's going to fall in your lap and you're going to be okay. But we have to come together. Peace and love, and keep ascending, community.
Keep us sitting. Tony, thank you for those powerful words. And Tony, I'm gonna say this. We're gonna change the narrative, okay? I got some neighbors who'll be watching me. Hey, my neighbors that's watching. I'm coming to knock on your door. I need some sugar. I need some eggs and some milk. I'm all my neighbors that's watching. Okay? Don't get surprised if both sides of the conversation come knocking at your door. Okay? I need some eggs. And don't tell me no, because I know you got plenty of eggs. And to all my neighbors, I know I got a couple of neighbors watching. I'll be knocking on your door asking for something. But we're gonna change that narrative. We're gonna bring back neighbors into neighborhoods. We're not just gonna call it the hood. We're gonna bring neighbors back into the hood. We're gonna bring unity back into the community. Very powerful show tonight. Thank you for getting here safely, Queen. We know how it is. It's the holiday season. But with that being said, because we don't want to hold everybody up no more, they like, Dot, we got to go through this again. Yes, I got my towel ready. Okay, it is time for the benediction. Every show we end, community, we have to give a benediction, okay? The people have now gave me the new name of the bishop. I didn't ask to be a bishop. I didn't want to be in the pulpit. All I wanted to do was uplift my people's voice. But for whatever reason, they continually tell me, John, you're preaching to the community. So with that being said, I have adopted the name the bishop, and I receive it from the community. So with any great bishop, there's a benediction before we let the people go. So tonight, I'll give you the bishop's benediction. With that being said, you all tuned in today for our Hidden Gems segment. Two powerful hidden gems that you might didn't even know. Powerful, strong individuals in our communities, thriving, overcoming obstacles, going through things that most people would quit. You had the powerful sister Kamisha, who came on and talked about the loss of her husband during COVID. You heard from the brother William talking about the 31 years behind the walls, working on himself, taking him to 45 to know how to love himself, giving back to the community in multiple ways. Both of our hidden gems are doing amazing things in our community. I always tell people, I believe in second chances because I know that there's a miracle out there. We can't just give up on people who get faced with incarceration or faced with obstacles that change their lives. We have to support them. We have to be able to uplift them. Because of that trust, because of that understanding and commitment, we have William, who is now taking the lead of one of the most powerful newspapers here in the Bay Area. That's what second chances look like. You all have seen folks from Time Done come on our platform and talk about the power of folks who have been through the system, who come back and make great impact. This is why we ask for a second chance. We have the powerful story of a woman who lost the love of her life. She took that grief and that pain and made something great out of it. A story, a book for you to read to get through the things that you need to get through. The vulnerability, the conversation was so powerful and touching. To hear her speak about the situation that she went through, grieving, going through the process, not wanting to live. How many of us out there go through things and we feel like we don't want to live anymore? We are approaching the Thanksgiving season. We are in the holiday season. And there's a lot of people out there that has many triggers and things going on that might feel like today is the day it's over. After tonight's hidden gem, I hope you believe there is an opportunity. There is a way. You might be feeling down, but I hope with these two powerful folks that spoke tonight, gave you some inspiration, gave you some hope, gave you something inside of that tank to make you want to go again. It always takes a little thing. Like Tony said, you find what spiritual need you is, whether it's Allah, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Jehovah, whatever it is, find something of substance that you can tap into, something that you could cry out to so that you can make a change. This season is hard. There's a lot of things happening. Find someone that you can reach out to. Show some love. Give some love this holiday season. Folks are dealing with extreme measures, things that are impacting the dynamics of their families, their homes, the amount of layoffs, the amount of death, the amount of things that are happening in our community. It's very tragic for the people. But with that, we can do it. Together, we are strong. Together, we can move our communities forward. This Sunday, we will start that process, walking with the Asian strong folks, walking with our API community, standing in solidarity, saying, hey, together we are strong, divided we fall. This is the call to action. Community, let's do our part. The holiday season is here. Let's give thanks. Let's be appreciative of the opportunities that we still have. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of emotions riding high during these seasons. Everybody needs a phone call, a check-in, a hug. Let's do our part, community. Let's make it very, very smooth for everybody else. And speaking of suicide, this Saturday, the event that's going to bring suicide awareness to our community. Check it out. Get involved. You never know who's dealing with something and maybe feeling like tonight, tomorrow is the last day. So let's do our part. Let's continue to love. I've heard it so many times tonight. Love. Love yourself. You can bounce back. Even if you feel like you're down, you can bounce back. You see two powerful gems tonight that's been through some things and still standing on top. Life after next. I didn't see life after death. I see life after next. Even if your life is going through obstacles, you could come out this and change to the next chapter. Thank you, Brother William, for being here. Queen Kamisha, thank you for being here. Pretty Tony, thank you for being here. Community, thank you for being here. Let's continue to lead in love. Let's continue to do self-work. We got the words, we got the power, we got the information. Now let's walk. I heard the brother say, step and stand. Stand and be a man. I always say, step and stand. With that, we could do powerful things. Again, great leadership is all about demonstrating what's possible. Tonight, two leaders of our community have demonstrated what is possible. Now, what are you going to do? You demonstrate. Show up, community. Let's do what we got to do to support and love each other. With that being said, that is the benediction. We're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up today's show. More things to come with both sides of the conversation, the Bayview paper. We're going to get the Willies together and act silly and have a conversation on both sides of the conversation. Shout out to our mayor. Shout out to our board president, Shema. Shout out to all the phenomenal leaders, okay? They can't fix all the problems. What are we going to do? Shout out to the new mayor of Oakland. What are we going to do? Too many times in community, we point the finger at the elected officials. But when are we going to point the fingers at each other and say, what are we going to do? What is our part to help change the narrative? We're going to do our part here at both sides of the conversation. We're going to continue to do our part to change that narrative. What are you going to do? Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I going to do? Who am I going to impact this holiday season? Who am I going to call? Who am I going to call and say, I apologize for something that I did to you last year? How many families are going to come together this holiday season? Who's going to be the big person at the dinner table and say, hey, I know I pissed you off. I know I offended you. I know I might have said some things that I shouldn't have said. But you're my family. I love you. And I'm thankful that you're my family. This holiday season, let's do our part, community. Hold each other accountable. Hold ourselves accountable. Let's find a way to bring the unity back in the community. Let's help bring our families together. It's a lot of work, but we can do it. It starts with you all. Thank you all for tuning in. And I apologize because we ain't going to have no show on Thursday, and we're not going to have no show on Sunday, community. But if you want to see us, we'll be live. We'll be out in community doing the work we do. And always want to thank our both sides of the conversation team for all the amazing work they do behind the scene. Community, okay? They got to put up with me. So community, make sure you give my team their roses, okay? They do a lot of work behind the scenes. They give up a lot of volunteer hours. They do families, everything to make sure you, the community, get the information, the awareness, the education, the resources, and best of all, they make sure you get me every week. So thank you, Pretty Tony, and to our production team, because y'all get to see me every week, okay? So thank my team, because if it wasn't for the team, y'all wouldn't see the bishop. The bishop wouldn't be able to give the benediction. So, with that being said, everybody have a blessed holiday weekend. Make sure that if you're traveling, be safe. If you're going to the mountains, be careful. There's a lot of snow on the mountaintops. If you're flying, we pray safe travels to and from with your family. And again, community, it's going to be okay. We got work to do. Enjoy this holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving from both sides of the conversation to your family. Don't burn the turkey, okay? Don't burn the house down. But we want you all to have
Happy Thanksgiving. No drinking and driving, please, community.
No drinking and driving because they are doing DUI checkpoints everywhere. Be safe out there. Thank you, Tony, for reminding me to say that. Be safe, community. Not even one glass. Don't even give them an opportunity. The highway patrols and all the police are looking for people drinking and driving. Do your part. Be safe. Stay home. Order a Lyft. Order a Uber. Get a black car. I don't know. But like Tony said, don't be driving with one sip on your breath, okay? Let's be smart, community. We love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Lord, for our amazing, pretty Tony who just continues to ascend and make our platform great. Community, thanks for putting up with me. I know it's hard, but thank you. And we
know it's hard, community. We know.
With that being said, good evening, everybody. We'll see you all next Tuesday for our next live Hidden Gem segment. Have a great weekend. We'll be out in community and enjoy the people. Take this time to just re-energize. And we love you all. We'll see you. Have a great evening, everyone.